Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Eggheads DFS podcast, January 17th, Wednesday. I got Chris and me. What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Just,
No update.
no, another night, last night of fun
Fun
stuff.
DFS. Right?
Fun stuff. It's funny. I'm glad I played, DK and FanDuel because my FanDuel line, avoided like the Jamal Murray situation and, a couple other guys that just great spots didn't happen. But yeah, FanDuel went really well.
It's kind of.
Yeah. So, um, it's been a little weird the last few days, man. I feel like, you know, if you faded the chalk the last few days, I feel like you've done really well.
Yeah,
But
it's been really weird. A lot of short slates, So it's a lot of close calls. You make one maybe wrong decision here or there, it really costs you because there's only 4 games and what was it, 5 the other night. So got a full slate tonight, right? We got 11 games, I think. So
yeah, it's
big full slate. I don't know what the NBA is doing with these, with these slates, but I guess we
I
got
don't
11
mind. I
games.
don't mind. I don't mind when they break them down. I mean, at least they keep it consistent. Normally, like Wednesdays are big. Mondays are normally, kind of big. Tuesdays are small. Thursdays are small. Fridays are big. Saturdays are split. Sundays are split. So it's whatever. I just wish, I wish stuff would get back to normal. And I think it's only a matter of time. I think there's up and downs like this. You just gotta keep playing the guys in good spots, and you know, can't make a lineup without value. And sometimes that value,
Doesn't really
doesn't
work
work
out.
out, man. And but that's not a reason to, like someone tonight who's in a good spot that's cheap. This is not a reason to say, oh, it's burned me the last 3 nights, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go right back to it
Yeah,
because
that's all you can do. You really can't hold a grudge against the player too long because they could be in a good spot the very next night. So
yeah, no, I agree. This year I hated Gary Harris last year, and this year I played him quite a bit. So
yeah,
um, I've turned a corner with him personally. Me and him are kind of in a good relationship right now.
you
So
guys are friends now, so that's good.
yeah, we're good now.
You guys
You know,
went out for that down, talked about it.
yeah. Had a beer. There's a couple people tonight that I want to play, but recency bias might deter me off of them per se. But yeah, we can jump into it. I pulled up a couple people. I think I've got 5, maybe I want to say. Yeah. So, you know, last night was interesting because Will Barton got the start. I think they posted, like the coach was going to shake up the starting lineups. Like 30
Yeah, he
minutes
did.
30 minutes after locks or something, which, why not? Um, but yeah, Barton started. He had a great game. This
Yeah,
guy this guy this guy's fun, man. He shoot well. He still kind of tries to do a lot more stuff now, which is encouraging because last year I think he just would come in and shoot a lot. He was kind of like a Lou Williams. He'd just come in and shoot a lot, and then he'd just kind of disappear. But it's good to see,
yeah,
man. He's getting steals, he's getting assists, he's getting rebounds, and he gets the Clippers tonight, and he gets, I would presume he gets Lou Williams here.
yeah. He
You
gets some
know,
nice Lou Williams defense.
it'll be fun to watch them go back and forth if it does happen. I think I'd love to see a part of that game where like those two just go up and down the floor and just shoot threes for like 5 shots in a row or something.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Uh,
that'd be.
I think you could see it. I don't know if it'll happen, but it'd be pretty cool. I'll probably lock him in tonight. He's going to play 30 minutes, I would guess. He played a lot last night, so obviously with travel, I don't know if they'll hold him back a little bit, but when he starts and he's playing well, man, he plays 40 minutes. It's crazy. Him and Gary Harris are both really good plays tonight. We were talking about Gary Harris earlier, and Barton's price went down $100. I think Gary Harris's price is I don't even know if it went up after his game last night because it is a back-to-back to them for them. Yeah, he's the same price. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them both tonight. I don't have Harris up here mainly just because we want to talk about Barton, but I like both of them for cash.
Yeah, man. That's a good call. I mean, Barton, I'm definitely on my radar. He's almost like, price, right? $5,500, for, like you
Yeah.
said, he's going to get 35 minutes probably tonight, right around there, as long as Malone doesn't do anything crazy. Like you said, he kind of does it all now, right? He's not just like a scorer. So he's one of the few guards, I think, like who does it all, right? Usually you always say, like, don't pay up at shooting guard because all you're getting is points. But with this guy at $5,500 for everything else he can do, rebounds, assists, even steals, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Lock him in, $5,500, and move on. I mean, that's
yeah, and I think I think he nailed it. He's also small forward eligible, which I think is going to be really, really important tonight.
Yeah.
So, we were talking offline. There's like 15 guys I really want to play tonight, and I will say this slate tonight, and we discussed a couple things offline, but this slate tonight, man, for me, I really think I'm just going to try to find the best combo of people that I like or that I guess that I feel like comfortable with, or at least like, I don't want to play a Montrezl Harrell or a Jordan Bell because everybody else is going to, and I think I need him in my lineup, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about. I mean, I've got Cousins on here, and the only reason I have him on here is because Anthony Davis has been going nuts the last two games, and Cousins does really well against Atlanta. I don't have the numbers in front of me as far as basketball reference or anything, but I know he puts up at least 50 DK points. I think the last time they played here, he put up like 20 and 12 and had like 3 steals, 3 blocks, something like that. But it is their third game in 4 days, so this worries me a little bit. But I brought him up in here because I think a lot of people either have Cousins or AD. But I just wanted to make the point that, if I fade Cousins and AD on an 11 game slate or 10 games, whatever it is, I don't think one of them is going to be like 40, 50% owned and I'm going to die if they put up 70. Like I'd rather, like if you wanted to play Jokic and save $2,000 and upgrade your forward spot, if someone like, I don't know, like a Montrezl Harrell who doesn't start and you wanted to upgrade to like, Josh Richardson or something like that, someone more safe then I'm going to do that. So,
no, that's a good call. Like you said, the ownership probably won't be there like it was, if it was like a 4 or 5 gamer. So you got that going for you. And like I said, that's a good point. Was it their third game in 4 nights, you said, or something like that? That's going to personally probably scare me off him a little bit, at least for cash games. But, I mean, dude, Atlanta's not that good on the inside. So, I mean,
what? No, I was just kidding. Yeah, we're terrible.
I don't know about they're not very good. I mean, they're back though, man. They're pretty healthy, right? Right now, they got everyone sort of back in their lineup. So, I guess that's good for the Hawks. But just you can't go wrong. I mean, if you tell me you're going to play Cousins tonight, I mean, how can you argue that, right? I mean, against Atlanta, for me, it's just that's a lot of games. I mean, 3 games in 4 nights. And if you look at his minutes, his game log, I mean, he's played pretty much around 42 minutes a night in those last 6 games, and that's a lot of minutes, especially for a big man.
Yeah, last night was overtime, and you got 40, 36, 45, 43, and that's So I guess 36, 45, 43. Yeah.
That's a lot of minutes, for a big man.
Yeah.
So I guess it's good though, right? If he's going to give those minutes to you tonight, he's probably going to do pretty well. But for me, I'm probably going to go elsewhere, power forward, and save the money. But
yeah, I think what it comes down to for me, right? So yes, he does well against Atlanta. Yes, even Anthony Davis is like 80 points in 2 games in a row or something like that. But the travel worries me, man. I don't know. It does. If it was a home stand and they had a back-to-back, it probably wouldn't worry me as much. But especially especially AD, who gets injured a lot, right? Like I never like to cop out and say, yeah, well, he might not do well because he could get injured because it's Anthony Davis. But I mean, it just goes to the thing that I was saying. Like, if I can drop Cousins and put someone else who's cheaper, and then maybe go like Tyreek and Lou Williams, and then this still be like a 6K person, like then I'm going to do that. It really just depends on what news comes out because we've got Bertans in here because Kawhi's out indefinitely. I don't know what's going on there. That I like Kawhi a lot, so I was kind of upset to see. But
dude, this Bertans guy, man, I've been playing him the past couple of nights whenever Kawhi is not playing. His minutes are kind of, because he's on Popovich's team, are a little bit kind of spread out, but when he misses value, it's by very little. So, I mean, you're talking about what, $3,900, small forward that, if he's going to miss value, it's going to be by a point or two. If he's going to exceed value, it's going to be by, between 5 to 10 maybe.
Yeah.
He's slowly becoming one of my cash game locks tonight at his price point. And, he's a scorer, man. I mean, he puts up a lot of points. He does some of the side things, but you're not really going to get, too many assists. But for $3,900, man, I don't know if you could find a better spot at that price point right now on the slate.
Yeah, and the only hesitation I have with him is because, Pau Gasol is going to play. So, I mean, he is the backup. I don't even know what you'd call him. Forward. I guess he plays power forward sometimes, but he is the backup. So, and it's Greg Popovich. So there is some risk, obviously, of rostering a backup. I guess the one thing I do like is he's a pretty good points per minute guy. So, I mean, he scores. He shoots really well. He shoots a lot too. So if he plays 20, 25 minutes tonight, which it looks like he, kind of averages that when Kawhi's out. I mean, if he gets you 20, he hit value and it was great. We were looking at it earlier. I think he's going to be popular too, just come as some of the models we've looked at. So I don't know if ownership to you will, he's projected to be popular. So I'm going to take him, but I like him. I mean, he's a good player, man. We had him. I had him on FanDuel in Sacramento. I think he put 39.5. He went nuts in that game. But I like him, man.
Yeah, man. No, I like him a lot.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, he's like I said. As of right now, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. NBA, all can change within hours, but for $3,900, the price savings you're going to get for him, I don't know if there's a better play at that price point right now, on this slate. I mean, against Brooklyn, I would say he's got to be somewhat, a little bit blowout proof, right? I mean, he's not a starter. I don't know who else they would really play after him. So the minutes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, the minutes.
Because I remember this Denver game. I was watching that Denver game. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. He was still in the game, chucking shots up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good, dude. I mean, and listen, I just don't think for $3,900 he could kill you tonight. That's just my take. And for cash, it's a great savings. So
I think so too. Yep. Yeah, I could see him around, like 14 to 16 real points. 6, 7 rebounds, maybe a steal and a block, and then maybe a couple dimes. Man, I could see him at 25 tonight pretty safely.
Yeah.
And that'd give you about six times value, which you can't argue on a 10-game slate. So no, I like that pick. And then we'll go on over to
his running mate,
the LMA here. Dude, this guy without Kawhi, man, it's like I know he's 8,200 and he's getting up there and stuff, but I mean, the one thing I like is I don't think DraftKings really adjusts him correctly because he was 8,700 against Denver, but Kawhi played, but then he was 8,100. I don't even think Kawhi played in that game, and he put up 48, but his price went down $600. So
he's a tough guy.
Now his price went up $100.
He's a tough guy. I never seem to get the right side of him all the time. But like you said,
Mm-hmm.
his without Kawhi is insane. And like I said before in other pods, 100% comfortable wanting to stay, in San Antonio. And I guess him and Pop had a talk. So a lot of the offense is running through him, even when Kawhi is there. They're still trying to keep him involved. So now you're talking Kawhi out. He's out. He's their best player. Going up against, one of the worst teams on the inside. I mean,
Yeah, God, they're awful, man. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm actually
I like that call.
I'm trying to pull up the game on 12/26 that I see up there.
Who was it against?
Against Brooklyn when they played Brooklyn. I'm trying to see if Kawhi played. I don't know if he did though.
It's Brooklyn.
I was trying to see if he played because I was curious about.
That was right when he. That was right when he was sort of coming back, right? So.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
But at that game, his price was also higher, right? It was 8,500. So.
Yeah, he's 300. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and he put up 40 points. So, his price kind of decreases against Brooklyn. And honestly, I mean, Brooklyn's not a good basketball team, right, at all. But it's in Brooklyn. I think San Antonio is probably going to win this game. But I mean, there's a chance that for 3 quarters this could be a basketball game, right? I mean,
Brooklyn, Brooklyn's. I mean, Brooklyn's one of those teams that I mean. They're actually not that bad. It's weird, but they're not.
And San Antonio's known to do this, man. I mean, let teams kind of hang around. That's only going to be better for for Aldridge going forward. So, I think I think it's pretty safe cash game play at $8,200. Power forward center eligible, so it's nice you get that too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be popular. I mean, you mentioned it. Brooklyn's horrible against the interior. Whether it's a center or a power forward, they're not good against either of them. Gasol back and playing tonight, or supposed to play, I should say. Not a bad thing, really, for Aldridge. I do like that the game's in Brooklyn. I think that helps a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't think there's much to say other than when Kawhi doesn't play, Aldridge kind of does his thing, man. It's just it's kind of an easy play, especially because his price is down. Kawhi did play in that game, and Aldridge still had 40 points. By the way,
yeah, that even shows you, And I mean, this game may be a game you sort of want, So, kind of getting it from a starter and a bench player kind of makes sense, right? I try to look up their correlation. They don't have one, so that either tells me, and I see negative correlation too with guys, but I don't see any. So that's what it tells me these two don't play together.
Yep.
And you're gonna, LA goes out, he comes in, Bertans. So
no, it's so
900. I think you're getting a lot for 2 guys that can, probably do a lot of damage tonight.
That's man. It's a great point. So like even Brooklyn's second unit against power forwards, man, they run out like Quincy AC and Jared Allen. So
Quincy, 80 years old.
Dude, like Bertans is a shooter, man. He's we were talking about he's from Latvia. He's it's where KP is from. But I like them both. And if the game is close, which I kind of hope it is, I think it should be. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I could be wrong, but because it's Brooklyn, we never know, and the Spurs, we never know. Sometimes the Spurs come out, man. They just look awful, and Pop just gets pissed off.
That's what I'm saying. They tend to play down to their competition at times when they play really bad, like basketball teams, right? Like you said, Pop calls an early timeout like 80 seconds into the game. No,
it's true. It's weird.
A good point.
It does, yeah. And then did we have anybody else on here that we wanted to look at? I think we kind of covered the 5. Oh, Evans, Tyreek, yeah. So I was playing with numbers earlier, and I told you about it. But so he's like their only offensive player right now. And the Knicks aren't great, against the guards. I guess. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're not great. But if Marc Gasol misses this game, I
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't play him in cash, man. Like, I looked it up. I think Tyreek Evans, what did I say? Had was it like a 40-some% usage or 50%? I
Yeah.
can't remember what
Yeah.
it was. But I looked it up. I took Conley off the court. I took Gasol off the court, Parsons off the court. If Ennis misses too, there's another shooter gone.
Yeah.
And New York, I don't think that is the type of team. I mean, you're a Knicks fan, so you'll know, but New York doesn't really scare me as far as they're going to go in there and beat Memphis by 30. They don't have Gasol.
No, I don't think it matters who they play. They beat anyone by 30 right now. Yeah, no, that's he'll be a cash game lock for probably most of the industry if Gasol's out. I mean, you can almost make a case that if this game, this game is in Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I would almost say if it was in New York, I would still even play Evans regardless, but or at least want to have some exposure to him. But yeah, man, that's a great call. Usage gets a huge bump, and they'll run the whole offense through him.
It will. Yeah.
If Gasol's out. So
yeah, we were talking about it a little bit, but tonight's gonna be interesting because if someone like Gasol's out, someone like Tyreek becomes, somewhat of a lock. Kawhi's out, so Aldridge to me is kind of a staple in cash. Barton's starting, Bertans is filling in. Cousins. We talked about it earlier, man. I would not be opposed to, go in here and throw in like a Lou Williams who's been dropping 50 and go this route and use someone like a Harrell or a Jordan Bell or someone like that who's in a good position and throw them in at center.
yeah.
And then round it out. But I think what's going to happen is if we get that Gasol news, that's really going to determine what I do. Because Lou Williams is a great play either way, and so is Cousins, and so is Davis, right?
Yeah.
But I think what it's going to happen is what spot is filled when I do that. So, for instance, if I pay up for center and go, Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins, I'm spending less at guard forward. So is there comfortable value in these spots, or is the better value, throwing someone at center and then paying up guard forward? So I really just think it's going to determine. I'm not going to say Marcus Gasol is going to determine my entire slate and how I build my line, but it's going to impact it pretty heavily. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Just
no
because
doubt.
it's almost like the domino effect, man. When you remove someone else gets,
Yeah. Someone else
put
gotta
in
take
place
it.
or something like that. So, the butterfly effect, right? So, butterfly flies its wings over here, flaps its wings over here, and tidal wave in China or something, right? So, hopefully not, but hopefully not.
That's true. That's a good point. I guess the only other situation I would say to watch out for is the Sacramento one, right? I mean,
yeah, that's a mess.
But that whole situation for me in cash scares me. And if you tell me you're going to rest Zebo, but he's on the bench and they got a chance to win the game, or they're getting blown out, I don't know where it's going to go. That situation could just become, sort of hectic. I would like to almost wait to see effect for cash. What really happens when different scenarios come up with crazy organization, and this is what they do. I mean, they just do things.
Yeah, they're funny, man. If Labisserie, or I don't even know if I pronounced that. I just call him Labs.
Yeah,
because I don't know what his last name is. I think he's French, maybe, I don't know. He's actually a really good player, man. He's long, he's athletic, and they always start him and they play him like 10 minutes and he never comes back.
So right now I have him sort of in like my lineup, just as like right now I had him just put him in there. And like last game, we got all that news that those younger guys were going to play more minutes. He played 27 minutes, and just a little bit more than value, So I mean, hey, if you're telling me for his price tag, if he's going to get 27 to 30 minutes,
so here's the interesting thing about that. Here's the interesting thing about that Kings situation, though. Like, I don't think they're just gonna say did not play coach's decision, right? I think they're actually gonna like rule him like inactive.
Yeah, they would have to do that. Yeah.
If Labisserie or whatever turns out to be probable tonight or will start, because I think he's questionable. But if he's gonna play, I could easily see them being like Zach Randolph's out, George Hill is out. I mean, I don't know who else would be their old people. I guess Vince Carter.
Yeah.
But it really puts people like Bogdanovich into play, puts people like Fox into play, puts people like Labs
Yeah.
into play. So yeah,
Well,
I mean, if we get the news and I have a spot left, I'll look at one of those young guys because the young guys did play well last game. So
it did. If that does happen where they rule out guys, all those other Kings guys project so much better because it's 100% guaranteed that the minutes are going to be there. Right? They got to go somewhere. So those guys will obviously project higher than they're projecting now. But I don't know what time they play at. Do you? They probably play if they're home. It's obviously going to be.
They're not home, are they?
I don't know.
Thought they weren't.
If they're not West,
maybe they are. Yeah, they are home against Utah. You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're playing Utah, right? So it's going to be a West Coast game. So
yeah. Just lock in Joe Ingles and just
Dude, he's a great play.
Freaking guy. He's going for 35 tonight. Just lock it up. It's gonna happen.
Down and 1% owned.
He's gonna be on the reference guide, by the way. Just prepare for that because he will be.
So you could say you're right that he. Look, I told you guys to play him. He was.
I played him when he was 50% and didn't do anything for me, so I might as well tout him now. And if he does well, then it's like the bounce back game. But I'm gonna do the guide again.
That was really helpful. We got some positive reviews from it. We had a guy score really well using it. Gave us some good reviews. So
we'll keep tweaking it. I mean, I'm always open to suggestions and comments, and it's really. I actually used it last night on a GPP line that hit. It's one of those things where if you read a bunch of different stuff, you listen to a bunch of different things, you look at whatever you look at to make lineups, right? It's one of those things where it's like, man, I've got 5,000 left, and I haven't read about this guy anywhere today. It's just one of those things you can kind of glance at and like, oh, okay, why not? He's a flyer. I'll throw him in. So it's not meant to construct your entire lineup by any means, but it is helpful. I mean, I think. And like you said, we had someone use it who put over like 300 last night, which was cool. So
that's even more encouraging. You didn't have Anthony Davis who went for like 75, so it's even more encouraging that.
That was crazy. I didn't even notice that the first time I looked. I was like, he didn't even have Davis in his lineup.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So other than that, man,
any your thoughts on it or on this slate? Or I mean, hopefully things get back to normal, and the people who are making the right plays and making the right, I guess, calls, because I feel like we've been making the right plays and just, been some crazy stuff the last 2 days. So
it's sort of part of NBA DFS. If you're going to play every single night and not really take slates off, you're going to run into stuff like this. So we got a bigger slate, so more news.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So stay on top of that, and I'll have the guide up. I don't know, probably here in an hour or so. So I'll put that on Twitter, and good luck tonight.
Right.
And
buddy.
Hopefully it's a good night. So
all right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Yep. Take care. Yep.
You too.